Good evening.
Good evening, Tony. How are you, dear?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
Good. I noticed you've got the owls behind you, the three owls.
I do. I thought that picture was amazing. I'm like, okay, that'd be a great backdrop.
Well, just before Hurricane Irma came through Florida, and I started to get the heebie-jeebies, like I had a feeling something was not right here. All the owls, about 2 days before it hit, all the owls right around Lake Apopka, where I live, all got together in the middle of the night, and they had this powwow, and they just discussed amongst the entire, I don't know what you would call them, like a flock, I guess, of owls. And I recognized some of the voices, not all of them. And they just decided that they were all going to leave. And they did. And they came back 2 weeks later.
Wow.
So, as Chief Daniel always says, and my mother is American Indian, among other things, Chief Daniel said that all animals are smarter than we are.
Yes.
That's for sure.
All animals.
That's geographic.
Mother, come on in, honey. I'm going to situate Mama. And we're doing this in our robes tonight. I hope no one is offended, but if they are, they can change the channel because Mom and I are having our own little pajama party tonight.
That's awesome. Hello, Carolyn. How are you?
I'm having a painful day.
Yeah.
But at my age, every day is a good day.
Here, let me just pull this down just because she's a little shorter than I am. So we'll just do this. There. That's better. That's better. So for those of you, if somebody's been living under a rock and does not know who my mother is, this is the one and only Carolyn Perron, former wife of Roger Perron, mother to 5 girls. We lost our darling April in March of 2017, very suddenly and tragically, the baby of the family. But the rest of us are still here, thick as thieves. April makes occasional visits, although she wasn't around this Christmas the way she had been in previous years. This year, did she come to see you over Christmas?
She threw a handful of change on the floor by the pink stool over there. A dime, a nickel, and 3 pennies.
Oh, she was. Usually we only get a penny or 2.
I was going to say she does that on a regular basis, right? She'll throw coins, but she threw a whole handful?
She threw a whole handful because I don't deal with money at all. And when I do, it's paper. And Chris doesn't either. So we have no need to bring coins into the house, and she keeps her coins in her car.
Yeah.
And so there's no explaining how a dime, a nickel, and 3 pennies.
She splurged because it was Christmas.
But I got up in the morning and there it was. She has ways of being in touch with us.
Right. That's amazing. And what a heartfelt sign from a lost loved one, when you know that, like you said, there's no coins in the house, you don't regularly use them, but then to find them scattered on the floor, where they came from. There's no refuting that. That's incredible.
Yeah, and why coins of anything and everything? I guess because they're small and easy to manipulate as objects. But is there like some stash of coin cash someplace else in the ether? Where do they come from? When the most, remember right after we lost little Lucy, my mother's great grandchild, Lucy, that died in the floods in Waverly, Tennessee in August of last year. Right after it happened, remember I went to that event in Massachusetts and I came out and it had been raining. I went to sit at the picnic table and there was nothing on the picnic table except puddles where it had rained, just completely saturated. And so I walked in front of the table. I turned around and there were 2 pennies instead of 1.
Wow.
Yeah. And that was, I believe, and I need to believe it. I want to believe it. I do believe it. But I do believe that April was there for Lucy and that Lucy is fine. And that some way, somehow, we're all together again on the other side. But intermittently, we can connect in profound ways, in significant ways.
Yeah, and I think the coins are a good representation of that. I mean, there's the old saying, pennies from heaven, which of course fits the situation. But the other things about coins is that they draw your attention just because, it's money. So when they're laying on the ground, you notice them. And then the other thing I've always been told is that the years on them, because coins are printed yearly, every year, that the coins that show up in this manner, the years that are shown on the coins usually have some significant representation to the person they're for.
Oh, I didn't know that. I never checked the year on any of the coins that I've ever found. And I never used to, occasionally you'd see a penny or a dime or a quarter in a parking lot or something. But, this has been a routine, huh? Right since we lost her, like almost immediately.
Yes.
But every Christmas, she would come to the house. One year, Cindy and I smelled her perfume suddenly, and we both looked at each other like she's right here. And that was a particularly poignant encounter because it was the 3 of us.
Right.
In my old bedroom going through some of April's belongings. It was Christmas time. And then remember the year that she gave Sammy his toys in a bag that was not supposed to be underneath the Christmas tree.
It just appeared out of nowhere under the Christmas tree.
It did.
Yes.
It did. And even the crumpled tissue paper that Christine had thrown away in the trash can right next to her desk over here, that had been picked up. Oh, Heather, my friend Heather's, it's so sweet. She said she loves us both. I told Mom I would read the messages for her as they came in the comments. But yeah, Sammy's toys, it was before Peanut Buttercup was on the scene. And several years ago, and one of Christine's, she hadn't used those special bags that year. She has special bags that she only uses for display. Mm-hmm. And we looked and looked for Sammy's toys and couldn't find them. And we knew Santa had brought them because, Chris went shopping. And when we went to it was pre-COVID, certainly, because we all went to the family dinner. And when we came home, Christine looked under the tree, which was in the front windows, and there's one of her display bags. I mean, these are like ornamental bags. They're not bags that you give away, give gifts in or something.
Decorate
with them with baby's breath and stuff. But that year she had not. And so the bag was pulled out of the front room. There was ratted out, torn away, thrown away tissue paper stuffed in it, and Sammy's toys. April wanted to give Sammy his toys.
Oh,
he was her dog.
Oh, that's just heartfelt. Wow.
Yeah. Oh, it was so sweet. Oh, it was so sweet.
It blew us all away.
It did. It blew us all away.
It blew our minds.
Christine doesn't know how to deal with this stuff, Mom. You know she doesn't. She would just, Irma, my friend Irma. Hello, my dearest Andrea and Caroline. Everybody calls you Caroline. I love that. I'm sending hugs and love to both of you.
Well,
thank you, Irma.
You so much.
Thank you, honey.
We always benefit from love and hugs.
This is coming from Italy. It's 3:10 a.m. I didn't want to miss this live. This is Pat Merton's daughter, Donna. From Italy. Oh, she's like a sister to me, Tony.
Yes.
I mean, if you ever met Donna Merton's Girardelli, I probably just mispronounced her Italian last name, but oh my God, a wonderful woman, the daughter of the town historian of Burrillville. So the woman that provided Pat Merton's provided us with so much of the history of the house, books and CDs and oh my God, the Black Book of Burrillville that's got all the bizarre deaths in it, huh?
Yes.
Oh my God, it's so strange. Wow. Talk about weird.
Yeah, that's incredible.
So do you have any specific questions for my mother, my sweet, oh my God, I love this woman.
You know, so many things and so many questions, but let me start out with something relatively, I say simple, but it may not be simple, but I mean, Carolyn, you have lived a just extremely unique life. You've had 5 daughters, just an amazing family. But what in your mind is one of the most beautiful memories that stands out to you that you know will never diminish or ever go away?
Well, it probably has to be Christmas Eve at the farm.
Yeah.
When we were all gathered around the fireplace and very good moods and just had such a wonderful time interacting with each other.
Yes.
Yeah, that was when we all lived together. The last time that we all lived together under one roof, because Nancy refused to come with us to Georgia when we moved. And Mom and Dad had bought a beautiful farm in Salicoa Valley in Cherokee County, Georgia. Absolutely beautiful. And Nancy said, nope. She went to the new owners who she was their babysitter, and said, I'll stay on as the caretaker at the house. And she refused to go. So we never, ever lived together. Thank you, Nelson. Thank you. Nelson said such a strong woman and family, you know. Yeah, we had to be, you know. So in a way, that living at the farm fractured our family too. I mean, at a certain point, you think, you know, kids are older and they're going to be all grown up and go their own way and do their own thing. But it felt unnatural for us not to all be together. Jay Blemke, we love you too, sweetheart. I was thinking of you today. I will call you tomorrow. I swear to God. Isn't it great?
I'll hold you to that.
Yeah. Okay. Mom loves Jay.
He's a good guy.
He is one of the good guys.
What a beautiful memory, though, for you to have chosen that one. You know, they say that no matter what happens in life and whatever you possess or gain, it's the memories of family and friends that is the one thing you'll take with you and always have. So I love that answer. That was beautiful.
You know, I was back in my room and memories were coming back to me. And I said, I have to remember to tell them. Not long after we moved into the house, sitting on the settee directly across from the fireplace.
Yes.
And just watching the fire, enjoying the warmth. And all of a sudden, a shaft about this big around of light came down the chimney and shot across the room and landed in my lap.
Wow.
And I called up a friend of mine and I said, Fran, you have to come and see this in case this happens again. What the hell is this? Is it the light from an airplane going over the house? No, it couldn't have been. It was too organized.
That's why I say all the time, it wasn't just the ghosts or spirits at the farm. There was extraterrestrial activity at the farm. And I do believe that shaft of blue light that literally turned at a 45-degree angle. Isn't that right? 45?
Yep.
Like a pie chart.
And
then shot it, but it snuffed out the fire in the fireplace. And then when it retracted and went back up the chimney, the fire came back.
Holy.
It's like, it's a chapter. I think it's in volume 2 of House of Darkness, House of Light, but it's a chapter called Blue Light Special.
Yeah.
And what we did was all 7 of us talked about every time we ever saw it happen and who it touched and one time it came over and it hit Fran right in the stomach, but it came straight through.
Right here. We both have cancer.
Yeah.
So it came down the chimney, and then when it hit the opening of the fire pit, it shot straight out.
It came.
So a 90-degree angle.
90-degree angle. That's right.
Yes, right in my
I suck at math.
And then when my friend came over, Francine, back the next day, and she wanted to see if it would come again and if she would see it. And it did come. And it landed right in her lap.
Oh,
and
my
both of
God.
us had cancer.
Yeah, she died of stomach cancer at a very young age.
Yes. We both had cancer there.
Yeah.
Where that light landed.
Yeah.
And we never saw it again. I don't remember ever.
3 times. It came 3 times.
Oh,
remember when we were playing Parcheesi on the floor and it came all the way through us? And remember Joan, was it Joan Perry? I think. And Sam, did Sam see it?
I
can't remember if Sam saw it, but it's all written in the book. I just wrote what everybody told me. I don't even remember all of it anymore because the books are too thick and there's too much stuff in there to remember.
That's incredible. Let me ask you a question though. With everything that you and your family have been through, from the paranormal to the extraterrestrial, could you ever determine what you were dealing with? Did you know, or in your mind was it all connected anyway and didn't matter?
It was fascinating. You could not help but be fascinated by something so peculiar.
Oh, yeah.
And it burned into our brains so that after all of these years, we remember these incidents in minute detail.
Just like they happened moments ago.
Yes.
Moments ago.
I'm sure I don't know how experiences like that would ever be forgotten. I mean, because they are so eye-opening, shocking, scary at times, I'm sure, amazing. Yeah, that would stick. That would leave a mark, no doubt about it.
Yes.
Yeah, a permanent one. I remember when I was writing the books, Mom, and you said to me, we could leave the farm, but the farm will never leave us. And she said, as I was writing the books, she stopped me one day. I was sitting at the table in there just taking copious notes furiously. And she reached over and she put her hand on my hand and it paused me. And she said, we've spent decades trying to bury our dead from the farm. And yet when it came time to exhume them, it's amazing how close to the surface they were buried. Mm-hmm.
Excellent point and well said. But yeah, that makes perfect sense. That makes perfect sense.
Actually, they lived with us, or we lived with them. And after a while, your brain finally absorbs it, and you have to accept it for what it is.
The house was really crowded. Oh, God. I mean, it's a big-ass house, but it was really crowded, and you just never knew. Cindy said that was Cindy's thing. I said, what was it that got to you about the farmhouse? And she said, never knowing what was going to happen next. Never knowing.
Yeah. That would be unsettling and hard to take, because like you said, you just never knew what was going to happen or when or how or at what level. So yeah, that would be tough. So there are so many comments in the chat room. There's no way I could keep up with them all, but one of the questions that I keep seeing asked, or at least I've seen multiple times, is that people are still to this day asking if things had followed out from beyond the farmhouse in any of the other locations that you lived in after the farm.
Well, I can speak for myself. Everybody that watches the show regularly knows that I've had numerous experiences since we left the farmhouse. We've had incidents here in this house. Christine, remember when Christine got so mad at me after we saw the woman with the pinafore dress in the front room? And, Christine comes up to me and she says, my house wasn't haunted until you moved into it. Who did you bring with you? And she was serious and she was mad. And I felt terrible. Oh, I felt terrible. Mom had to break that one up. That was bad.
One of the first things that happened in the Harrisville house, I was walking through the dining room, and at the time I had long hair.
Yeah.
And something came over my shoulder and shot past me like a shaft of air.
Yeah.
And
lifted her long, thick, almost
my
black
hair
Indian hair.
Right up off and blew out behind me. And it was hard to reconcile yourself to the fact that you don't know what's going to happen 5 minutes from now or at 12 o'clock tonight.
I can't even imagine. So yes, that would be
the uncertainty of it. And I was home alone with the children a lot because my husband traveled.
Right.
And was gone a lot. And there were times when it took a lot of courage to stay up until 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning because you were afraid for your children.
I completely understand that. I mean, those challenges alone, just from the interaction, from whether you call it paranormal or extraterrestrial, but those strange occurrences happening would be hard enough to adjust to handle, to stay strong through, and you accomplished all of that. But now let's take into a fact that it was the early 1970s. It was not a subject matter that was discussed regularly. You had to keep things confined. And, when you did try to maybe talk about it, you got ridicule and people saying, the amount of struggles that you have succeeded through based on all of the occurrences, from the paranormal to the extraterrestrial to the society factors. That's incredible, Carolyn. Absolutely shows your strength, your courage, and just what an amazing human being you are.
Well, thank you. I never thought of it that way. I thought of it as coping in an upside down world.
Right.
You know, my mom has been able to maintain, by her own choice, relative anonymity through all of this, through a feature film, through book releases, through all kinds of, my traveling and everything. When I lived here for the 7 years that I wrote the books, I know, Denise, you're absolutely right. Nothing like a mother's love for her children and the fierce desire to keep them safe. It's why we call her Mama Bear, because she is slight in frame. She is also the strongest, fiercest woman I know. I mean, so powerful and such an incredible presence, and kicks my ass at Scrabble. We had a 768-point mutual score last night. We had a killer Scrabble game last night. It was awesome. I took a picture of it. The board was that great.
Oh, awesome.
Oh, God. So anyway, I don't know if we answered that question properly. The last question was, did she feel like stuff that... I think the question was about attachments being formed. Was that really the crux of it?
Yeah, they were just the couple of questions I saw were really just asking if you've experienced additional activity once you left the farmhouse. And I think that answer is clearly yes.
Yeah, clearly yes.
Yes, one of the first things that happened to me when we moved to the valley.
In Georgia,
and
in 1980.
Had a perfectly modern, up-to-date house, which was shocking after the way I lived.
Yeah, at the farm.
Sure.
I went downstairs to put a load of laundry into the washing machine, and somebody had removed the door.
Yeah, Dad had, but he had propped it. It was a solid oak door, and he had to move it to get their bedroom suite in. But he leaned it and propped it very precisely up against the wall of the laundry room. And earlier that day, Mrs. Warren had, I don't know, it was Google didn't exist yet, but she found our new phone number, and I called Mom and offered her a boatload of money to tell her story, write a book, maybe make a movie, yada, yada. And Mom, I was at the house with Mom when this call came, and Mom turned her down immediately. And she said to her, and she said, we should at least discuss it with your husband. We're talking about life-changing money here. And so Mom said that she would talk to Dad, and then he came home and we all went out to dinner, but Mom wanted to stay. It was really hot. Remember that first summer was so hot. We had no air conditioning. We were in the mountains of North Georgia, like you normally don't need it that up there. And so you only ran appliances at night. So Mom said, no, I'll stay home and do laundry. In the cool of the evening, you guys go out and bring me something home for dinner. And that's when this incident occurred. Okay, finish telling it. I just wanted to give them a little of the background.
So I'm loading laundry into the machine and setting it and starting it. And all of a sudden, the door behind me came down and slammed me into the washing machine. Face first on the edge of the washing machine. It gave me a bloody nose and split my lip.
Dislocated your shoulder?
And dislocated my shoulder.
Oh my gosh.
And that was my first questionable incident in the Salico farmhouse.
Wow. What a vicious event too. I mean, it's not like you thought you heard something or maybe saw something out of the corner of your eye. I mean, the door literally slammed you down against the washer.
And this was like a 200-pound door.
Solid oak, which is why it was propped exactly the way that it was, so that there was no chance that could happen to anyone. And then Mom went down to the shoals of the Salicoa River and
built a bonfire
and
danced
and asked her ancestors,
please don't let this thing follow me.
Oh, great spirit. Oh, great spirit.
Yes.
Wow. How I mean, we do paranormal investigation, but to have something like that occur, and I know that, that's, like you said, was one of the first things, but how did you keep your strength, keep your ability to go down and do laundry again? I mean, it had to be.
There was always laundry. There were meals to plan. There was shopping to be done. So I stuck with my routine.
Wow.
But, it's hard to explain to people how absolutely bizarre some of this stuff is. I came in, we were living at the Harrisville house, and I came in from my garden. I had a massive garden, vegetable garden.
Huge.
And I had a whole big basket of Swiss chard that I had caught to blanch and freeze. And I look up, and standing in my front hallway is a guy talking to somebody I couldn't see, but that was in front of him in the hallway. And when I dropped that basket, he turned around and looked at me, but then he went back to the person he was talking to.
Who was invisible.
Right. Oh my God.
Well, I couldn't see them because they were in the hallway.
Oh, okay.
And he was at the edge of the hallway looking at them.
Mm-hmm.
And that Swiss chard flew all over my kitchen. I had to clean it up. But he looked, and I could describe this man to you in minute detail.
Wow.
Because he didn't disappear. He stayed there, and I had a real good look at him. He had leather boots on that were went halfway up his leg. He had light gray gabardine slacks and was dressed as one would from the 1920s, I would say. Yeah.
That's incredible. And your memory of it is, like you said, as if it was yesterday. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Just amazing.
These things burn themselves in your brain. You never, ever forget any of these details.
That I'm sure. Wow.
But I don't live there anymore. I don't dwell on it. And I always remind myself to seek a place of peace and happiness.
Well,
and that's what I do.
That's a great outlook. And, again, that just shows the strength that I was talking about in you before, to be able to take everything that you went through and then have that outlook that you're going to look for that place of safety, that place of peace, that to still be able to have that thought process after everything that occurred. Carolyn, that is absolutely amazing. Just amazing, and shows that strength you have.
Well, thank you. I appreciate your happy thoughts for me. And I'll keep seeking happiness. We all should. Life is short. Be happy while you can.
That's true. That is an excellent point. Excellent point.
Now, if you will excuse me, I'm going off to smoke a dreadful cigarette.
Of course.
Later. She'll be back. She's just going to scoot off and have a smoke. You're going to have to move the dog, Mom. I don't know what to tell you. Oh, my God. Yeah, she'll be back. Oh, thank you, Crystal. I appreciate that, sweetheart. Yeah, I told her, I said, Mom, if you'll agree to do the show tonight, you can take off and go smoke or drink coffee whenever you want, and then come back and, come in and go out and
sure,
however she wants, whatever makes her comfortable.
Absolutely.
I wanted to tell him about the knife that came down.
Okay. All right. Well, when you come back, yes, we'll talk about that next.
One of the first things that happened. And
yes, the first thing. Honey, will you put back up what Brennan had to say? Remember, sure. I told you about Brennan Vanderveer? Okay, Brennan says she is just a ball of light. Bless her heart. He's my 14-year-old friend. It's wonderful, from Maryland. I know. I was trying to explain to Mom today, and perhaps you can help me reinforce the notion with my mother that her experiences, her existence, her story has touched so many people. She truly is an icon of the paranormal. She is the grande dame of the paranormal. Absolutely. Lorraine is gone. It's just Carolyn.
Yep. Could not agree more. And there isn't a documented case out there yet that either hasn't been ripped apart or answered, or the experiences that your family went through, your mother, your father, is one of the last that is not explained, cannot be dismissed. She is truly the most iconic figure that has gone through an event like this, and the last standing from it. So for anyone out there to be able to even just listen to the show tonight, hear her speak about the things that she went through, experienced, her outlook. This is something, listen closely, because this is a woman that has been through every state of fear, confusion, strength, every emotion under the sun, and came out of it shining like a light and stronger than ever. And that doesn't happen often. So when you use the word iconic, that is almost an understatement to what she is.
Yeah, I would have to agree with you. And I'm not just saying it because she's my mother. I mean, there's a lot of elements of this that we really need to explore. We wouldn't have gotten through, having gone through what we did as a family, we wouldn't have gotten through it the way that we did without her.
Right.
She was the one to emulate. She was the one. I remember the day that Dad called me. I was in my senior year at Chatham College in Pittsburgh. And Dad called me and told me that they had sold the farm. And I went into meltdown mode. I couldn't believe it. Like, nobody even bothered to ask me. Nelson said she's an inspiration to all humankind, a true ambassador of the paranormal community. Nelson said that about you. Wonderful. Mom says thank you. I mean, I was just about to come up on finals. This was like not a time to hit me with, are you eating Skittles?
No, it was a cookie.
Milk Duds. Just a cookie? Okay. Well, we polished off a box of Milk Duds Christmas week here. True confession. Thankfully, there are 3 of us. It wasn't that bad, but still. I was, it was impossible for my father to communicate with me because I was hyperventilating and because I was in complete emotional meltdown. I was 21 years old, just about to graduate from college, thought I was going to go to grad school at Brown University, and that I was just going to live at the farm and that I would commute to school. It never, ever occurred to me, not once, that we were not going to just live at the farm forever. That's how permanent it felt to me.
Sure.
And Dad said, hold on. He said, just breathe, just breathe. I'm going to put your mother on the phone. And I'm sure I could see him just handing her the receiver, just saying, talk to her, talk her down. And Mom got on the phone and she said to me, Annie, you have to understand, I told your father I could not survive another winter in the house. This has all just been too much. It has taken a toll on me and we have to leave. I will not survive another winter in the house. And it was her intuition speaking to her. It was her sensory perceptions telling her that something wicked this way comes and that she was not going to survive it.
Exactly. And after 10 years.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys were there for, correct, 10 years.
Yeah. Yeah. Almost 10. I mean, Mom found the farm in June of 1970 and bought it in December of 1970. And we moved in June of 1980 and we visited the farm after Mom found it and we met Mr. Kenyon. We visited a number of times between finding it and owning it. Right. And so it already felt like it was already a part of our lives from the moment that we first went to it. We all knew. It's like we all knew. She's nodding. Yep. We all knew, the farm we were going to live at the farm. And, leaving it was one of the hardest things that I've ever done in my life. But to know that it was not a sanctuary for my mother, that it jeopardized her the way that it did. I packed up all my stuff after I graduated and I went to Georgia with Mom and I told her I would stay with her. And I did for several more years. I did until I moved to Roswell after I opened my business. Yes. Yeah. So we're really tight, Tony. You might have noticed.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But you know what? You couldn't ask to have it any other way because that's what makes for, strong family. And you guys are definitely that. So that's incredible.
Well, we also have our weak spots too. I mean, like my mother handled April's death entirely differently than anybody else in the family. And she said that in some ways she felt a sense of relief that she knows it's not a belief system. It's not a, faith. She knows there's something beyond our mortal existence. I know the same thing that she knows. And so she figured with all the pain that April had been in, with all the anguish that she had suffered in this life, she had crammed about 100 years of living into almost 52. Mom said, not in resignation, but really just poetic acceptance of April's death. and talks to her all the time. I mean, they have a running conversation. April has awakened my mother out of a dead sleep, and I choose my words deliberately because there have been a couple of times that Mom stopped breathing while she was sleeping. And now we're working on that. We're fixing that. But there were a couple of times that April woke her up and said to her, "Mom, wake up." Heard it absolutely clearly. She was right there. It was her. It was her voice, and she was right there. So as selfish as my sister could be, and I know that she would love to have Mom with her, she gave her that jolt that she needed to come back to us.
Yep. Still she's looking out for her.
Yeah. Because believe me when I say April coveted Mom, that's the understatement of the new millennium, huh, Mom? Yeah. Come sit up here with me. Let's talk about that for a minute. And then you can tell your story. Come here.
Oh.
Yeah, so Mom has when April was still with us, she would call Mom about, I would say, probably anywhere from 6 to 10 times a day. She was her rock, her go-to gal, her stability. It was tough. It was tough. April relied on Mom a lot, and after she passed away, Mom would carry the phone with her all the time, as habitually, just keeping it there because April might call. And the strangest thing happened the day after she died, and I was on the Queen Mary out in California. And April always had a phone attached to her face. They invented Bluetooth for her. She was in constant communication with the people that she loved. Thankfully, there were a lot of us, so it wasn't constant. Other than Mom, it wasn't constant, oh my God, it's April again. But the day before she died, she called everybody that she knew and loved in this whole world. And we didn't even find that out till we went to the funeral. And everybody there had received a phone call from her the day before, even her low-life ex-husband.
Wow. That's incredible.
She knew. She knew. And so I talked to her about maybe an hour and a half before she died. Mom talked to her all day long, off and on. She kept checking in with her and everything. And she had left Sammy, the dog, here. She had come and spent several days before she went back to go to the hospital to have the surgery. And it was the night before, and the misapplication of a fentanyl patch that killed her.
Yeah.
Should have gone up on her shoulder. Instead, she put it on her inner thigh, and it killed her.
But she told me through a spirit box that it was an accident, that she didn't do it deliberately.
Yeah.
She felt like she was immortal. She was a perpetual teenager. They'll do anything because they feel like they're just never going to die. And she just took unnecessary risks. She was in a lot of pain. She wanted to feel better faster. I just know it. She didn't realize that it would stop her heart. No. And
I believe that 100%. And like you said, she answered you through a spirit box saying, no, this was an accident. I don't think there's any debate in anyone's mind that it was an accident.
So, yeah. So April is a part, had we not lived the way that we did for the almost decade that we did at the farm, who's to say if we would even know or understand or be able to make peace, even a tenuous peace with her loss. because we still see signs of her. We still feel her presence. She's around us all the time. She's constantly checking in on this one, but she also checks in on Dad too a lot. You know, it's a wonderful thing. And had we not been exposed to what we were at the farm, would we even recognize the signs of April everywhere, omnipresent? You know?
Yeah, that's an excellent point, and I think something that crosses, you know, the minds of hundreds of thousands of people that, you know your story, know what you guys have been through, but it's that whole development of how it changed who each and every one of you are, how you react to things, how you handled things, and maybe what it opened for you to have this constant communication with her because you were exposed to what happened at the farmhouse. And, you know, I know, Andrea, you and I have had conversations before about other things that I'm like, well, that was your path. You were chosen to go down, you know, this road.
Yes. What doesn't kill you will make you wise.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Okay. I'm off.
Are you off?
Yes.
Are you leaving me? Where are you going?
Right here.
Oh, okay. She's off.
Okay.
She's off. Coffee. So one of the things that she wants to tell you about when she comes back, she will, is the hand sigh in the barn.
Yes.
And it was, so I'll set this up and then she can tell you.
Okay.
It was not long after we moved. It was January 11th. So just a few days ago, 51 years ago. We moved. Last year was the 50th anniversary of when we moved into the farm. Oh my God. And it seems like it was just, you know, like where did that half a century go?
Right.
Where did that go?
And it goes faster and faster and faster.
And faster and faster. And so we had all gone off to school. The only one that was home was April. And
she was asleep on the sofa.
And she was asleep on the sofa. And Mom decided to bundle up and go out and check out the barn, even though it was a bitter cold day. She had promised us a horse in the spring. If we would all work together to help raise the money, which we all did. Everybody pitched in and did, you know, when we were in summer camp that year, we made pot holders and macrame stuff. And, you know, all of us were just making like tons of this stuff that was really worthless. But we went all over town, you know, selling our wares and throwing the money into a jar. We helped contribute to buy the farm. It was not long, maybe a week or two after we got there. So still probably in January. And she went out to the barn and she opened the little side door on the barn. It was, right? You didn't go in the big front door. That would have been too heavy to even open it, right?
Now I went in the little side door.
Oh, okay. Little side door, turned on the one light. There was only one light, right? Wasn't it an exposed bulb?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you want to come tell the rest of the story? She's got the detail in this down to, I can't do it justice the way she can tell it.
So I walk into the barn and the light was not adequate to see way up into the hay loft.
The rafters, yeah.
Yeah, into the rafters and the hay loft. I was up there. But I was just standing there looking around near where the horses' feed trays were.
Yeah. The troughs. Yeah.
Yes. And took 2 or 3 steps deeper into the barn. And all of a sudden, I hear what I perceive to be a barn owl coming down at me. And I looked up, and this hand scythe, which is a sickle,
Right.
with a very sharp blade on the end, and it had a huge hickory handle. It probably weighed 5 pounds. And it came down and hit me right at the base of my neck at the top of my shoulders.
Oh.
But instead of penetrating, I had on an undershirt, a turtleneck,
and Dad's leather jacket.
No, a denim. I had on a heavy denim jacket. And it hit there, and then it just bounced off of me and clattered to the floor.
Oh my God.
But that was my first run-in with the spirits.
Oh my gosh.
Because if I had not been properly dressed,
right,
that could have cut my head off.
Exactly. And then, you just talked about that 200-pound oak door crushing you against the washer. What do you think it was about that location that didn't or had it in for? Because did anyone else have, to my knowledge, no one else had life-threatening events, correct?
No, there were other life-threatening events with other members of the family.
Oh, there were. Okay, there were. Okay.
Yeah, but Mom really got the lion's share of it. She really did. But Christine got stuck in a trunk inexplicably because there was no lock on the trunk, but she almost suffocated. Cindy got caught in a wood box where she could not get out and something was holding the lid down. There was no lock on the wood box. There were several incidents. Mom got impaled with a tomato stake right in the side of her hip. She got stabbed with a needle in the back of her calf, left a big ass hole in her. What else? There were lots of things. The hand sigh. It was It was a bomber jacket, though. It was a leather jacket because Dad was upset because it was his jacket. But that's okay. Small matter. When we came home from school that afternoon, and I remember this precisely because it was one of those first really, I guess you could describe it as surreal. Mom always sits with her knees up here. She has this really flexible body, and she can sit with her arms wrapped around her shins and her knees at chin level. I couldn't if I tried, but she does routinely. And she was sitting that way on the sofa when we came home from school. And Mom normally had cookies, snacks, drinks, everything ready for us when we came home from school. It was snack time and chat time and sit around the table and talk about our daytime. And we did this every single day. It was our routine. And I went into the parlor and she was just sitting there staring at Sesame Street or whatever April was watching on TV. And there was a vacancy in her eyes. There was just like she didn't even see me, that I was in the room. She didn't even see me. And I asked her if she was okay. And she didn't respond. Not at first. Just lost in thought. And, told me later that it blew her mind. What happened to her in that barn that day blew her mind.
I'm sure. Oh, I'm sure.
Mom, your eyes are changing color. Look into that blue light right there. Your eyes just changed color. My mother's eyes change color regularly. They just went into that deep, almost that Indian. I think it was because we invoked the name of your Cherokee ancestors.
Could be. Could be.
My mother is magical, Tony.
Oh, that I know.
So lucky, that she's 82 years old, and I still have her.
83.
No, you're not, Mom. You're not 83. You're 82.
Yes.
No, you're not. Because that would make Dad 87. Dad's not 87. He's 86. So you're 1939. Tony, do the math. I suck at math.
No, your math is correct.
Okay, so it's 83.
Yep.
Yeah. Is it? 82. It's 82. 39. August 39. He's doing 82. The math. 82. See, there you go. I knew I was right.
Oh, good. So I just bumped a year.
Exactly.
A year I didn't want.
And that is all that matters.
Yeah.
All that matters.
And it's almost a full moon tonight. And we've been playing Scrabble, and I worked outside for 4 or 5 hours today?
Yeah, too much.
Oh, God. Which hence no makeup. The hair's not done. I'm lucky I'm here. Had a car accident. Somebody hit me from behind. I was driving my sister's car. Oh, my God. Way to start the new year, Ann. Jesus, God almighty.
You're okay, though? I mean, you text that to me, but I didn't see the response, but I'm assuming you're here and that everybody was okay.
Well, apparently my brain jiggled a little bit because I thought that I had a conversation with you that apparently I did not.
Now, it was about 3:00 on Thursday, and I'm like, what are we doing tomorrow for the show? She's like, we didn't have this conversation. I'm like, no. And you're like, well, I was in a car accident. I'm like, oh no, are you okay?
Yeah, my brain. It's my brain. No, honest to God. I mean, either I dreamed it or, because remember I told you, Mom, I said I talked to Tony. You're going to be the guest. But remember, I mean, I told her last week. Or I asked her. It was last week. It was like last Saturday. And then I made her watch football all weekend, which was not, that didn't go. As long as I play Scrabble with her while I watch football, or while I listen to football, while I'm making new words, that's all that I care about. It's joy. It brings me joy.
Right.
It does. I mean, we sit around and we drink coffee and we make interesting words and we watch interesting shows and movies. And, I've been here since mid-December. I don't really want to go back to Florida. I want to stay with my mommy. Oh. But I'm going to at least stay through Christine's birthday, which is January 30th.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, our mutual friend, Erin Bush, and Tony, now you know Erin.
Oh, yeah.
Well, she's probably in a chat room somewhere. There she goes, like a never-ending sleepover. Yes, your typing sucks, dear, but my math sucks, so we're good. Yeah, I mean, Erin spent a few days with us in mid-December when she was gracious enough to bring me up because I sold my van, so I didn't have wheels. I couldn't take my father's car; he would have no car. She said, I'll just take you to Georgia and, see my folks. Like, what? So anyway, let us take a moment to celebrate Erin because tomorrow is her birthday.
Oh, bless her sweetheart. She is so precious.
She is. She's precious.
I told Chris we have to adopt her and she's going to be part of our clan.
Yes, she is part of the tribe.
Yes.
She's a wonderful woman. I got to meet her just a day or two prior to when she drove you up to Georgia at the Las Vegas Perron. And just truly an amazing person. It was great to finally meet her face to face. And and glad that she got to be able to drive you up there, because she was talking about it after, and sounds like she had a blast. She, every time, I even saw comments in tonight, she was saying about when she gets the opportunity to listen to you guys speak, tell stories, and reminisce about family things. She says it's just the most magical experience to just sit back and take it all in.
Yeah, she and Mom got to know each other really well while she was here, and it was just such an enjoyable way to begin the holidays.
It was.
And she helped me so much. Oh my God, I had a boatload of books to get out. And I had my books shipped here instead of Florida, so I didn't have to tote them up or wait for them. And they arrived a few days before I got here, and I had a full day of book orders to ship. And she helped me every conceivable way. I will always be grateful to her. Yep. God, oh my God, Mom, remember when we left the house to go to the post office? It was wild. We did it in shifts.
Yeah,
we did it in shifts.
She's a very special person.
Yeah,
because I pick up on that in people.
She is. I will agree.
Very special people come into my life. I recognize it immediately.
Yes. So our love and happy birthday to Erin, and I hope you have a marvelous day tomorrow, and don't consider it disrespectful that we came in our robes for your birthday party, because it's late Friday night and
cold out. Maybe it's cold outside.
Oh, Renee, remember my friend Renee? Hello. She's not a Mrs. anymore because she divorced my father a long time ago. But she's Carolyn. Carolyn or Caroline. Her theme song is Sweet Caroline. Everybody sings that to her. So I think that's where it comes. But I mean, she's even got members of her own family that call her Aunt Caroline.
Yeah. I do. Okay. Is it okay if I disappear now?
Yes, honey, that's fine.
Because I always come back.
I know you always do. Love you, darling.
Love you.
She's just a pleasure to speak with, and just so sincere and so genuine and original. I mean, that's just not something you see every day, and to be able to pick that up and hone in on that from basically the other side of the country, there's just something super special about her, and you have got to be just the happiest daughter in the world to have a mother like that.
Well, what's really special is one of the things that I think that people lose track of, that they don't pay close enough attention to, are the simple things, the little things, just the things that I think ultimately we miss about spending time together. Whether it's just sitting out on the back deck having some sweet Georgia tea on a hot day, or sitting in front of the fireplace on a cold winter's day and, having coffee and chatting about anything and everything. I don't care. Mom will say to me, "Oh, I think I've told you that story before." Well, probably she's told me that story 150 times before over the course of my life, because it'll be something about her childhood that she'll just suddenly remember. She has this incredible recall of virtually the entire expanse of her life. And every now and then, we have a gnat in here. How can we have a gnat in here in January? How can that be? Unless I just squished a really small ET vessel, that would be bad. Oh, no, sorry.
There are gnats.
There are gnats. Mom's confirming that there are actually gnats. And And oh shit, what was I saying?
You were saying about that she has this unbelievable recollection of her life.
Recall of her life. And she'll suddenly, just out of the blue, tell me this story that I've heard over and over and over again, and I want it imprinted on me. I want it imprinted on me. I told her, I said, you can't go anywhere until we do an official mind meld so that I can download the thousands of books that you've read. She's a walking encyclopedia of literary knowledge.
Wow.
She's read probably in her lifetime 20,000 books.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I try to hang on to them.
Yes, and then she keeps all of them as though they are adopted children. Oh, God, the books. Between her books, my books, and Christine's books, this place looks like, and my home in Florida, too, is like an antique store that married a library. No. And then the nice thing is that, the books actually go into the antique bookcases, so it's a real melding of the two. But she gave me a hero. My mother gave me a hero. Not everybody can say that.
No, they can't.
About their mother. Not everyone can.
No.
And so I know how much gratitude I have to still have her. Yes. To spend every moment with her that I can. And I'm sure that there are a whole bunch of frustrated people out there in the world that have been trying to get in touch with me. But when I'm home with Mom over the holidays, and yeah, I know the holidays are officially over, but mine's not. And I don't have to actually go anywhere and do an event until the end of February. So, she gets my undivided attention, and everything else that comes along, if I make room for it and time for it, and it'll all get done, and everybody needs to relax because it'll all get done. And oh my God, I'm only booked for about maybe 8 things throughout the course of the entire year. Some of them are a big deal, but right now, my focus needs to be present in the moment, in the simplicity of the moment of the coffee and the Scrabble game and enjoying a fire and just spending time together. That's all that matters. You
couldn't have said that more perfectly, because that's all that matters. And that those memories will stick with you forever.
They will sustain me.
Right.
They will. Right.
And those are the things a lot of people overlook. And they think, oh, there'll be time later, or there'll be, I'll get to that when I'm done with this. And that time sometimes never happens. So your priorities could not be better in line. That's fantastic.
Yeah, it's just a given. And we have been this close lifelong, which, a lot of families can't say.
Right.
Families fracture for myriad reasons. Families fracture. And I think, Tony, we've talked about The Conjuring and how in the grand scheme of things, the movie did get it right, in that it leaves people with distinct impressions.
Yep.
One of which is that good conquers evil, that love conquers fear.
Yep.
And then third, that we experienced an extreme haunting that we all survived.
Exactly.
Those are indelible impressions left by the film.
They captured that aspect very well. What was in between pulling those thoughts forward Yeah, maybe a little off, but they did do a very good job at capturing those three things, and no one on the planet probably thinks otherwise, because they know what you went through. They know what you conquered. They know that love overcame fear and that you survived. So those three things, I don't think are in question by anybody who knows your story.
Yeah, I would agree. I remember the first time Mom never went to the theater to see the film. April stayed here with her for the premiere. And so they got to see all the stuff on Entertainment Tonight. And April, she's like, oh, what a hoot. My whole family's all lined up on a red carpet in front of the Cinemaplex place in downtown LA. And it's right here on TV, Mom. And she's like, hit the record button, Oh, God. I never want to do anything. I never, ever want to do anything like that again. Oh, my God. It was so stressful. It was, no. That's just so not me. It's so not us. Now, my mother is an icon, but she'll never be a celebrity. I will never be a celebrity. I never will, nor do I seek it, nor do I want it, nor, I'm just Annie. And I hope that everybody relates to me that way. And Carolyn is Carolyn, or, Mrs. Perron, if they prefer, because they feel like they should, as an act of respect, but still no longer a Mrs.
My next night we're going to fix you, Kevin.
Yes, I know, Mom, but we're not putting that out because of this Google thing. Okay. Her first name is Martha. My mother's actual first name is Martha, which is a very dignified, elegant name, I think.
Very much so. Very much so.
Yeah. Do you want to come back for just a couple of minutes more, Mom, and talk about anything that you want to talk about? Do you have questions, Tony?
There are ones here. There are so many questions in the chat tonight that they literally scroll by in a matter of seconds. So there were a couple of questions, though. Somebody wanted to know.
Look in the blue light.
Give me just a second to scroll through.
Because I think Brady Baldwin was going to be joining us tonight, who is a dear, sweet young man who I've befriended and would attempt to adopt from his parents if they would part with him.
I did
Actually,
see that
I'd like
name
to just adopt their whole family.
I did see that name come up.
I think he might have had a question from Mom. Brady, there he is. Hi, Andrea. It's Brady. Do you remember me? Yes, dear. I have your number in my phone. Tell your mother that I said she's a role model for me. See, I told you he's the most bright, beautiful, lovely young man, just like my other friend, Brennan. These kids, I was talking to Mom about this earlier today, and I said, these youngsters, not kids, youngsters, young ladies and gentlemen that I'm meeting in their early teens, they're going to be the paranormal investigators of the future. They're going to be the ones that are out there exploring and exploring more. And my mother being able to answer their questions, or even for them to be able to interact enough to hear her wise words, will be impacted lifelong by them and can be a guide to young folks who are pursuing a fascination, a curiosity with the paranormal.
Yeah, and I couldn't agree with more. So yeah, I definitely do have questions. In fact, here's one from Renee.
Renee, are you pleased or wish it hadn't happened? You mean like the whole farm thing, Renee? Like everything that happened?
I think that's what she's referring to. Yes.
Oh, okay. So basically, Renee wants to know if you had an out and you didn't have to do it. I mean, my attitude about this is you live the life, you play the cards that you're dealt, you live your life to the best of your ability. I feel like we were supposed to live at the farm. I feel like there was something cosmic about us being catapulted to that place, to my mother finding that house and putting earnest money down on it before my father even knew it existed to secure it for our family. That it was all meant to be. And so there's, no point in even thinking about changing it because there's no changing it. But do you regret having lived at the farm? I guess that's probably more so what she's asking.
No, not at all. I think it was very enlightening. And I think it was a privilege to be exposed to questions that required deep, deep thought to find the answers for. So I have absolutely no regrets. The only regret that I have is that I had to leave that lovely old place.
Wow.
Because I couldn't take the weather anymore. I didn't know what was wrong with me, but I have a crippling disorder called Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. I have no collagen in my connective tissues, so I can bend over to pick up something off the floor and dislocate my shoulder and my hip at the same time. And it's very painful.
Oh, I'm sure.
For me to live in this kind of intense pain and still be able to find joy, I'm so grateful for that. And I do. And I make sure that I find some joy every day.
Yes.
Every day.
Every day.
Just beautiful.
And that's about the best we could do. I had to go in and give some blood work a couple of years ago to a technician, and she had read the book, and she said to me, do you think that all that stuff that happened in the farm was something that came out of your own imagination? And I just looked at her and I said, talk to me when you wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning and you hear your daughter's bed being dragged across the room upstairs.
Exactly.
You can't know what it is if you haven't been there.
Right.
Yeah. Anybody that's, I've said often, Mom has said as well, that some of the things we experienced, hi, Carrie, some of the things that we experienced were literally beyond belief, literally beyond
even our belief.
Even our belief.
But also beyond denial.
Right.
We're, think about it, live with it. Here it is.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember the day Mom said, Dad said something he probably shouldn't have said about being mean about the spirits in the house. And he just didn't believe that there were spirits in the house. And Mom turned on him like a wet setting hen. And she said, Roger, the existence of the spirits in this house is not contingent upon your belief in them. And then he didn't have anything else to say after that, right? He just kind of put his tail between his legs and disappeared. Oh, God. Off he went to go watch a Red Sox game because really, what are you going to say to that, right?
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. But great point, and so true. I mean, their existence aren't based on anybody's belief, but that's another thing that's got to be, we were talking about all the challenges, all the difficulties, but when you get people today with, Facebook Lives and YouTubes and channels and so many people talking about everything under the sun, but when you get somebody who, is being humorous or mocking or, saying what seems to be not so nice statements about your actual reality, I mean, that's got to be frustrating too to some point.
She doesn't get exposed to any of that, Tony. I will not allow it.
Good.
And I don't read stuff like that either. And and occasionally something, hurtful, deliberately mean will slip through.
And you know how I respond to that? Hello out there. You have not got a clue. You have not a clue.
Yeah.
Right. No, I agree. It's just the culture today can be so disrespectful to so many different areas, not just the paranormal, but to just normal people and life events and passing of life events. And so I just was curious what, how you handled that, but keeping it away and not paying attention to it is probably the best way to deal with any of it.
Well, her attitude has always been, what you think of me is none of my business.
Yeah.
No, and that's a part of the way that she has maintained. And we've been very protective. Now, all of us have been very protective of her privacy and her anonymity and not exposing her too much. I mean, I feel very privileged that she said yes, that she would come on and do the show tonight. And she said, first thing she said, I like Tony. Like,
oh, thank you.
She does. She loves Tony. I mean, this was, it's a little past her bedtime, but I mean, she's been hanging with me now for, almost an hour and a half. And I really appreciate it. I really do, because I want to share my mother with the world. I want everybody to see how resilient and resourceful. And I mean, this woman still, I'll be chopping the wood in the morning, but she builds a fire. Every morning she gets up and she builds a fire in the fireplace. And, I make sure that everything's in, or Chris makes sure that everything's in at her disposal to do that. But she does it like breathing. It's just a natural. She's a self-sufficient, was raised on the Little Okmulgee River in South Georgia, swam with alligators from a very young age.
Yes. Wow. Caught a catfish one time that was bigger than me.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Yeah, I think I weighed 25 pounds. He weighed 27.
Yeah, her father had to reel him in because he was trying to drag her out. You got him in the whole thing? Oh my God.
But I wouldn't put my finger in his mouth to take the hook out. So I started yelling, Daddy, Daddy, come. And he came. And I left and went home. I was tired.
Tell him about the alligator, the little baby alligator that you picked up when you were swimming in the river.
Oh, yeah.
This is great. This is a great story.
It wasn't. It was a sad story.
Yeah.
Something had bitten its snout off. It's about 12 inches long. And I pulled it up out of the water. And I didn't realize at first that it had been mutilated. So I brought it home, and we had a spare well on our property. And I dropped him down into the well. And of course, he drowned because his snout was bitten off. But I tried to save him.
Oh.
Oh, no, I'm talking about when you picked up the baby alligator and the mother came up right through the middle of the...
Oh.
That was a different alligator story.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I had to put him back fast.
Yeah, he had to go back fast.
Yeah.
Mama was mad. She was mad.
Oh,
and
yeah.
when a gator bellows, there's no missing it. I mean, it'll split the air. Ugh.
One day, my mother sent me down to the river to get my sister, who was reading on the scaling bench. We had a long bench that we used to scale the fish.
Sure.
And she was reading, and she had fallen asleep. And I started to come down the path to wake her up and bring her home for supper. And all of a sudden, I heard a blood-curdling scream. And I just froze in place because I knew this was something big and wild and dangerous.
Yeah.
And I stood there in the path, and this tiger, what do you call it, tiger? Panther, yeah. This panther comes walking. He had been stalking my sister, who was asleep on that bench.
Oh,
and
my
when I saw him, I started screaming and stomping and fluttering my hands. And that was my reaction. That was my fear, but it scared him too. And he walked over and he looked up at me with his jet black eyes with yellow slits. And you could almost hear him think, I better leave her alone. She's crazy. And he walked on past me and went into the swamp.
Wow. That's
I had some close encounters.
Yeah, I'd say.
And remember the snake that Grandpa had to shoot that was just coiled above your bed? It was a water moccasin, wasn't it? That was in the cabin.
Oh, while they were building our house, we lived in the cabins that the tenant farmers had occupied before we came there. And I forgot what I was talking about.
It was the big snake above your head.
Above your head. I heard there were open rafters up to the ceiling in this cabin. And I heard something. I looked up. There was a snake. It was about 8 feet long. It was orange and black and yellow and one other color. And I just let out a scream, and my father came with the gun in his hand because he knew that scream and shot him.
Wow.
Up on the rafters, and he fell on the foot of the bed. Whoop.
Yeah, and Grandpa told her afterwards that he was poised to strike the top of her head. He was in a circle, and his head was like that size, and he was right above her head. And Grandpa just blew him away. He had to.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Those are some close calls.
Yeah, I had some close calls.
Yes, you did. Yes,
but I had freedom that no child today. I mean, when I was 7 years old, I'd put pecans in my overall pockets and go for the day. And my mother didn't even know where I was or what I was doing. I'd wait until her back was turned, then I would slip off, and I was gone. So I had some wonderful, endearing memories from that time, and I had some scary memories from that time. But I'm still here, so.
You had a mule, didn't you have a mule?
2 mules.
You had 2 mules and a wagon.
Yes.
Yes. When did you get electricity? Weren't you like 10 or 11 when you got electricity?
I think it was 11 or 12. Yeah, I had to do my homework by kerosene lamps.
Wow.
For a long time.
Yeah. Can you imagine growing up in South Georgia in the wilds? I mean, they lived very rurally, although in Telfair County, they had some of the best schools in the whole state of Georgia.
Yeah.
I mean, Mom was taught by college professors that opted to go into the public school system.
Yeah,
to make a real difference. And those were teachers.
Yeah, it had been a college. And when they closed it as a university or a college, we just moved in and it was our school. And we had some of the best teachers and instructors and a library that would blow. It was like 6 stories high. You had to go up a ladder to get to the top shelves.
Wow.
Thousands of good books. So that's when I learned to love to read.
Yeah, I'm sure. Wow, that's incredible. Incredible. Yes. You can't even get college professors to touch the school systems today.
No, they won't go anywhere near them. And who could really blame them? Wow. But, my mother in many ways, I don't think that she understood that they were technically poor because her childhood was so rich.
Right.
And in a lot of ways, even though my father grew up in Central Falls, Rhode Island, my mother had, he grew up in a concrete jungle compared to my mother. I mean, they couldn't be more juxtaposed in terms of their upbringing and, where they were in the country. Completely different. So when Mom agreed to marry Dad and went to Rhode Island for the first time, she was in complete culture shock.
Yes.
Total.
Yes.
Wow.
Just my wonderful, happy childhood has taken me through some bad times.
Dark times.
Yeah, and dark times.
Yeah.
And I'm still here. So
I know you are. You are.
So I'm off. Bye.
She's going to bed.
All right. Thank you so much for speaking with us.
You're welcome, dear.
You're welcome, dear.
That was wonderful. I mean, I don't think there's a person out there who couldn't listen to just have her speak all night long and just not be absolutely glued to every word she says. She's just fascinating to listen to and just unbelievable personality, and all of her wonderful characteristics and strengths just shine through, and an amazing, incredible woman. No doubt about it.
I feel like I feel a compulsion to share her with the world while we've got her, and I'm not saying that she's going anywhere soon. She's not allowed. She already knows that she's not allowed because I don't know how to live without her. So,
right.
Let this all be about me. You can't leave me because I can't live without you.
Without you, right? Exactly.
Right.
We're just going to a warmer climate.
We're going to a warmer climate, yes. But and we're not talking about hell now. I mean, that's a little too warm for me. With the red-eyed owls hovering over your shoulder there.
I'm blocking him with my chair. There.
I know. There you go. I was just so glad. I said, Mom, for however long you want to stay tonight, I want Tony to be able to interview you, so that he has a sense of knowing you and really being a part of our family, because Tony, you and your family are that important to me.
Thank you. And I could not have asked for a better opportunity than tonight, than to get the opportunity to talk and share with her. And, you know, that'll be a memory in my mind I never forget.
We'll do this again. But here's the thing. This is why it's important to me. We're on KGRA now. This episode tonight will be archived and will be watched over time by countless souls who will get something out of this discourse, this conversation with my wonderful mother, and will have the experience of having her for an hour and a half on a Friday night, an experience that I get all the time. I mean, we talk every day. If I'm not here, we talk every day. Even if I talk to her through Christine, we talk every day. And that connection, you know, when it comes right down to it, and I know you know this well, when it comes right down to it, all we have is our family, our close friends, the relationships that we build over a lifetime. And I know I come from my mother. I am a part of my mother. She is a part of me.
Yep.
In a way that is hard to describe. It's like I would forsake anything, anyone, any situation, including leaving the farm against my will, to be there for Mom and to support her in whatever her dreams are and whatever she wants to do.
That makes perfect sense. Makes perfect sense. Yeah.
It's the way, and yet she returns the favor. She does. I mean, when I first started writing the books, Tony, I didn't think anybody in my family was going to be really gung-ho about it. Not necessarily something that they just kind of wanted to start thinking about again, or, you know, have any kind of a revisitation toward.
Right.
I just didn't think that was going to fly. And so I didn't say anything for a while. And I told my mom first that I had started writing what was going to be one book and then turned into 3. And the first thing she said was, well, you should come down here and do that here, not in Rhode Island. You should be here so that you have access to me and Christine and April and Cindy, and Nancy's just down in Florida. Your dad's in Florida. You should come south and move in with us. And I'm like, yeah, well, what does Christine think about that? And apparently she was amenable with it. So in March of 2008, I moved down here, and then I left in March of 2015. So the 7 years that it took to write the books, this is the house that I lived in while I did it. And I had my mother at my disposal at all times to verify any particular thing, ask questions, to be able to tap into her endless reservoir of memories. Right. And write so much of it down verbatim. She wrote a beautiful essay that's included in volume 3 of the trilogy, that if you got the trilogy and could not read anything else in it except that one thing, it would be worth it, because her brilliant treatise, 17 pages long, talks about how she was impacted by living at the farm, the way that she has reconciled it, the way that she has come to terms of endearment with it, made peace with it. And that's something I think for all of us to emulate, particularly those that are going through a difficult time, whether it be paranormal in nature or not. You know, this wise woman has a lot to share about your predisposition and attitude about life in general.
Well, she definitely does. And, you know, the word, like you were saying before, iconic, is an understatement for who and what she has done. But, you know, even just the simple little thing, like you were saying, when you decided to write the books and you weren't sure how that was going to be received by them or supported, look at what she turned around and did. I mean, you could not have gotten better support without any flack, any disagreement, and she just supported what you wanted to do and backed you on every level for it. That, to me, that's the meaning of life, to have that kind of family and connection, and so that's fantastic.
Well, also because I had the pleasure and privilege of living with her all those years during that whole process. It was, I think, it's what makes the trilogy so authentic, because you can almost, once you've met Mom, even if it's in cyberspace, you can hear her voice in your head from that point forward. There's just something about her presence and her passion and her compassion. We're just lucky we didn't get her off on. There's a couple of subjects that we really did well avoiding tonight.
Then we'll consider that a success.
Yes, we really will, because we were just yesterday morning. Well, we weren't sitting outside. It was too damn cold. It was only like 38 degrees. But we were sitting together talking about war, and because of the Russians and all this bullshit going on with Ukraine.
Right.
And she said, you know, honey, I was born in 1939. The world has been at war my whole life. Somewhere in the world, whether it be with this country or other countries around the world, there's never been a moment of my life that somewhere in the world there wasn't conflict, there wasn't a war. And I feel sure that when I leave this world, that will be true. That will continue to be true, that I will have lived my entire life on a planet where there was always some global conflict, and that we hadn't really learned anything in the span of my lifetime. You know, and I think that that's a significant statement. It's a thought-provoking statement. It's an important statement, because it is indicative of an awareness of something so much larger than herself. A global view that was instilled in each one of her children, which is why we're all human rights activists and women's rights activists. And how many marches have we been to, Mom? How many marches have we been to? You know, she's my heart. She's my soul. She's my hero. She's my teacher. She's my guide. She's my mom. And I want to thank you. Thank you, sweetheart. She's hiding over here on the floor down near the stove, and she's smoking up the stovepipe so she doesn't have to go outside to have a cigarette. And that is also my mom. Plus, she doesn't want to have to walk behind me until the show goes off. So she's going to sit right here, even though she's off stage. She's in the wings. Is everybody clear? She's in the wings. Yeah. And then when we're done, she'll walk behind me and go off to bed. Bless her sweetheart. Mom, thank you. Thank you. And thank you to everybody that watched tonight. And I hope that you all got something meaningful from it and illuminating, because I really do think that my mother is a transcendental figure. And I'm so proud of her, and I'm proud to be her daughter. And I'm so grateful that I had the opportunity to share her with all of you tonight. And thank you, Tony. Thank you.
My pleasure. This was such an enjoyable show, and I guarantee you there's not a person in the audience that didn't get multiple things from this broadcast. So it was amazing. And make sure you thank your mother for me for her taking the time to spend a good hour and a half or more with us.
Yeah.
We appreciate that. She's a pleasure to talk to, and just let her know before she goes to bed that myself and I'm sure everyone in the audience just wishes her the best, and a peaceful night's sleep and happy memories beginning tomorrow morning.
Yes. We'll start a whole fresh new batch, right? Unless, we'll start a Scrabble game over coffee. I'm telling you, it's destined. It's going to happen. It is. I love you, sweetheart. I'll see you next week. We have very special guests, plural, next week.
Awesome.
And I just want to leave you all with one final thought, and that is embrace your life, cock your head, cop your attitude, and move forward, hopefully, at all times. Because if my mother can go through what she's been through in her life and be the woman that you were introduced tonight, then there's hope for us all.